Right then, so welcome and thanks for taking time to come and see what I'm up to down here in Cornwall. I was just having a bit of a tidy up and square up of the polytunnel, and I've got three dilemmas of things that I really don't know. It's the first time I've grown them, and I don't know quite what to do with them now. And that is my loofahs and my birdhouse gourd, especially the birdhouse gourd, because that thing's doing my head in. And also the strawberries that I've had here in hanging baskets. What's best to do with them? Do I leave them here in the tunnel or do I kick them outside? So if you can help with that, that'd be much appreciated. If you can just leave what I should do with them in the comments. And then I thought I'd just take you for a little look around the tunnel at the moment, because I've got some interesting cauliflower that are actually commercial ones, in as much as they were planting a field of cauliflower next door, and I went and spoke to the guys that were planting them and asked if I could have a few. So I planted them. I started to have a little bit of issue with slugs, so I chopped up some cucumber and put around, and they've gone furry. So furry cucumbers, who'd have thought? So we'll have a look at that at the end, and maybe you can help me with that. Right, let's go and have a look at these loofahs and the birdhouse gourds. Right, so first off, the loofahs. Now, this one I can feel is starting to go a bit soft around the outside, so I figure that one is nearly ready to go. But some of the others, especially this one in here, is still like really green. Now, can I harvest that and peel it, and will it be all right? All right, because the leaves, with the humidity and the condensation here in the tunnel, you know, they're all starting to go moldy, and like, that can't be good. So any help with that, much appreciated. Let me know in the comments. Right, let's go and look at this birdhouse gourd, because that's the thing that's really getting on my wick. Right then, what am I supposed to do with this? I've only got one that's of any size. The rest I've cut off because they started to rot. But this thing is, it's massive. I've had to support it with a a bit of this what they call it, netting, and it's just sounding solid, but the rest of the plant is starting to die off. All the leaves are going moldy. What do I do with this? I'd really like to. Can I cut it? Will it, you know, ripen and cure off the plant, or have I got to leave this go? Yeah, that's something I'd really like to know. So if you can help me with that, that's much appreciated. Right, that's the two of the things I wanted help with. I'll take you off the tripod now, and we'll just have a quick tour around, and we'll go over the strawberries. And if you can help me with what's best to do with them, I'd appreciate that as well. Right, so here we go. Strawberries in hanging baskets. These were put in here last year. Gave me some great harvests, but what am I supposed to do with them now? I mean, will they be all right in the hanging baskets? Kept in the hanging baskets in the tunnel, or are they best to be kicked outside for the winter and then brought back in? And should I take them out of the hanging baskets and actually plant them and then bring them back in, or will they be fine just left here in the tunnel to there again give me a good early harvest next year? Now, I have taken some runners off these, and as a little experiment, the ones at the back I left connected to the parent plant with the stems, and the other ones I cut off just to see how well they would do. And I found that these ones, as long as they had some little white roots just starting to come off the plant, they've taken just as well as the ones at the back. So that's one thing I've learnt. There's no actual need to leave this stem on the plant as long as you've got some roots going on. I've got those there, and I've got another lot up the end there, so we'll have plenty of fresh plants for next year. So that's all I need to know. With these, I mean, I've cut them well back. Will they be all right in here, or am I better off chucking them outside? Please let me know. Appreciate that. Right, let's go and look at some cauliflower. Right, so we've got some cauliflower here, and like I said, these were commercial ones. The farmers next door, they were planting some out, and I'll just show you a picture of what they've got going on. And I went in and saw them and asked if I could have a few plant, and they said, certainly you can. Very good of them. Mostly Eastern European, to be honest, but that's the way of it. I wouldn't like the job myself. So that's them growing away there. But one thing, I started to get a bit of slug damage, so I like to put cucumbers around, or bits of cucumber, because that attracts the slugs. But what I have found, if we go in nice and close, is all the cucumber is starting to go furry. Now, what's that all about? I've never seen it before, and I've put cucumbers around a lot of other things. The only thing I'm thinking is these beds all had a wool mulch over the top of them when they had the tomatoes in here. So I'm wondering if there's some residue from the wool that's caused that. I mean, I don't think it's much of an issue, but yeah, that's what we got going on with the cauliflower. Now, I've just upgraded a little bit of my storage down the other end for tools and whatever, so go and have a quick look at that. Right, so I got my potting tray here down the end, and what I've just recently done, and I totally nicked this idea off Gary the garden novice, because I saw he had his gloves hung up on some clothes pegs. What I've done is just drilled some holes in the top of this, and then just with some jute string, drilled some holes in some clothes pegs, tied it up behind, and now I can store all my gloves so I can find them, because you know what it's like, you put them down, you never find them again. So that's one little storage idea that I've adopted. And also at the end here, what I've done, I've put up you may have seen this before because I just put the screws in, but I found that with them moving around with a bit of wind, they were hitting the plastic. So what I've done now is just put up a bit of board behind them so they can't damage the plastic, and just, it's made such a difference just putting in a few screws, drilling a few holes in the handles, and just a little bit of well, it's pretend leather, tying them up, just means I can look after everything, or not look after, I can hang things up here and I can easily find them again. So that's just one little well, two little things I've done to make life a bit easier for me. Just before we go, we'll just pop over and take a look at the sweet peas, because they've come up really well. Right, so here's the sweet peas, planted on the 26th of October. They were my own seed, so I thought, oh yeah, I better put about 3 seeds in each pot, because you never know what the germination's like. And you wouldn't believe it, in all but 2 of the pots, all 3 have come up. And what I'll do, I'll let these grow away on till they they're showing about 3 sets of the twin true leaves. Then I'll just nip them out, and then they'll bush up in the bottom. All right, so that's just those. Oh, one other thing while we're here. Now some sweet peas here. These were volunteers out in the garden, so I just dug them up, stuck them in some pots. You can never have enough sweet peas. And also I had a lettuce go to seed, and they self-seeded, so I put a few of those in pots. And I think what I'll do is put some of these in one of the spare beds here in the polytunnel. But because I have noticed I've got a little bit of slug damage in the tunnel, I thought I might pop some of these into some hanging baskets. That way they're out of the way of the slugs. All right, so that's oh, my carrots, my Christmas carrots. Better show you them, and I'm really happy with these. These are the ones I've grown in the deep cell root trainers, and they've come on really well. So another lot up here. They were planted about a week ahead, but they've also come up really well. Right, anyway, that's it. That's a little tour of the polytunnel as it stands at the minute. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you can help me out with me dilemmas of what to do with me loofahs and me birdhouse gourds and me strawberries. Right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Cheers and gone.